Valve has updated their rules prohibiting content that may violate payment processor and bank rules. Valve recently updated their guidelines under what you shouldn't publish on Steam to include the following: content that may violate the rules and standards set forth by Steam's payment processors and related card networks and banks or internet network providers. In particular, certain kinds of adult-only content. This was followed shortly by some people noticing that several hundred games were removed from the Steam store, mainly adult-themed games. This has sparked several different complaints from people, such as, "This just proves once again, you will never own anything online that can be removed at any moment," and, of course, "How can credit card companies decide what I can and can't do with my money?" That's the big one for me, because I guess I'm just used to the other one. No, I'm not. No, it's still bad. Being able to remove content that I own is sucky, but I think they're only removing it from the store. They can't remove it from your library if you already own it.
Yeah, the line about, once again, you never own anything, they didn't take it from you.
Yeah. No, I'm more upset about why is it that credit card companies are the moral arbiters of the internet?
They decided we couldn't do certain things with Flowplane.
How does that make any sense?
It's trash.
And this is not the first time this has happened. For example, OnlyFans had an issue a couple of years ago with major credit card companies pulling out as payment options because they no longer wanted to be associated with the rising sex work that was taking place on the site. But it's just like, buddy, if I go to an ATM and I use my credit card to take out cash and I buy the services of a hooker, like what are you even talking about? Like quite frankly, like I don't really see how it's any of your business.
I don't think they should be able to at all. I think the government should potentially be able to step in, but they would be stepping in and like closing the place down because they're selling drugs or something. But I don't think a credit card company should be able to police what you buy.
We have a hypothetical scenario here. A creator wants to use Floatplane as a platform to, do not safe for work content. Is it hypocritical if Floatplane says this isn't okay versus the credit card company deciding it's not okay? Well, I think Floatplane, we've always been pretty clear internally that we don't actually really care what people use it for.
No, but I understand what they're saying. If we're saying that credit card companies shouldn't be able to police this, but we have a platform and we police the platform, is that hypocritical? In my opinion,
the difference is we're nobody.
Yeah. Even if we were somebody, we're an individual platform, you can choose to go somewhere else. This is a unanimous thing from effectively two companies that run global credit cards.
No. They mean, are we being hypocritical criticizing Valve for crumbling and for giving in and changing their rules according to pressure from the credit card companies?
Is that what they're saying?
Yeah. And no, I don't, because Valve does billions and billions of dollars of transactions with these credit card issuers, whereas we are doing, over the time we've existed, millions. Like,
I don't think that's what they're saying.
Huh? A creator wants to use Floatplane as a platform to do something along these lines. Is it hypocritical if Floatplane decides this isn't okay versus the credit card company deciding
versus the credit card company, not Steam?
Oh, well, okay. Oh, no, okay, you're right. That was the question, but that's not a relevant question because Floatplane never decided it wasn't okay. I guess that would be hypocritical, but we never did that. And that,
I also don't think it would be hypocritical.
It wouldn't.
No.
Oh.
Which is what I was just explaining.
If Floatplane decides it's not okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, no, yeah, okay. So there's 3 different ways that I think I managed to accidentally interpret this. So you're talking about, should we be allowed to have our rules in our house compared to should our landlord be allowed to decide, or not even our landlord, like, yeah, like our Mrs. Rochester who lives upstairs is allowed to decide like what we do in our space that is our domain. No. I think that's completely different.
I think this applies to some landlord type situation or something.
Our
because
house, our
this is
rules
a service that we are choosing to use. The thing is, if you want to exist online as a paid platform, you have to use credit card companies. And if you're using credit card companies, if you kill Visa or MasterCard, you have ruined your ability to do business. Like they have an effective monopoly.
Yes.
So it's actually not okay. And you can't just like, oh, well, pick up your bootstraps and make your own credit card company. Like, no, it's not going to happen.
You literally can't.
Yeah. So I do not think it is fair and equal. It's the same thing as like when you look at like policing moderation and not having free speech on like the Linus Tech Tips forum, because it's like, no, we don't want the moderators to be just overloaded with constant political conversations. And it's a tech forum. Get over it. Talk about tech stuff. Yes, we allow off-topic conversations, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I'm completely okay with that because you have near infinite other solutions that you could use for going and being social online. There is not near infinite other options for payment processing. And these payment processors genuinely right now kind of decide how the internet works. And how a lot of brick and mortar places work. And to be fair, the vast majority of places are going to automatically be within their policies. But if you aren't within their policies, they get to dictate what you do. We had a call with, I think it was PayPal really early on. And they were like, yeah, no, you can't do X, Y, or Z things. And that might have, in PayPal's defense, that might have been PayPal passing forward this from the credit card companies, because we also had a call with Stripe later on saying we couldn't do X, Y, or Z things either. Even though I think that ended up being, in their case, maybe actually hypocritical, because I'm pretty sure OnlyFans ended up being too big of a fish, and Stripe went back and is handling things for them anyways. Let me see.
Sound like a bunch of prudes.
Let me see. I thought...
You with me, Dan?
OnlyFans currently uses Stripe as their payment processor. So they got over it because they saw the bag was huge and decided to do it anyway.
So I guess that's where I was going with the bit about how Valve could. Valve is a big enough fish that they could just be like, I dare you. I dare you to turn off MasterCard and piss off literally every gamer who shops on Steam and uses MasterCard. You've got to be kidding me right now. Because people would be rioting. They'd be going to their banks demanding to be able to use MasterCard on Steam. They'd be like, okay, then I want a different credit card. There's no way.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where, like, I think people would actually go... I think there are some people that would demand a different credit card, but Visa and MasterCard move in lockstep on this. Again, effective monopoly. So there aren't a ton of other options. There's some, but not very many. There's some, but their back ends are still, what is it? Cirrus and whatever the other one is, which is Cirrus and Moneris, which are effectively, they're just, you know, it's the same thing. Basically, you can't get away from it.
Yeah.
So they
kind of like how the insurance industry is
all
all dictated by the underwriters, and there's like a handful of them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So you're going to get screwed. And with something like OnlyFans, that industry was already used to sketchy alternative payment methods. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, but I'm assuming that's what OnlyFans used in the past. So this was net new market. Whereas I think their argument could be that that might be enough to finally push people off of Steam to another platform. So they might not actually lose those users.
I don't know, man. I think Valve would retain those users, and I think that they have the sway to basically go to the Steam gaming community and say, "Hey, we're not going to be held hostage by this. Go to your bank. Literally, go to your bank tomorrow and demand to know why you can't buy games on Steam."
They'd have to pull a
Epic
Games versus Apple. Yeah. And you know what would be wild is if they like offered free games to people that didn't have those credit cards or something.
Valve doesn't campaign. I think Valve does their own thing.
They're very quiet.
Yep. They quietly do their own thing, and Gay Ben hangs out on his yacht and does interviews for channels that have like dozens of subscribers, apparently. Did you see that this week?
No.
Yeah, he did an interview with just like...
Don't sound too salty.
It was, what? No, I've never asked him for an interview. But just like he did... No, it was actually another article I read that pointed out that the people he did the interview with just like were not huge.
Cool.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty
like
cool.
Random people that email them and stuff.
Yep.
Does that respond to every email ever?
I don't think so.